How's it going out there? This is Feed Your Mind. So with millions of Christians out there, how is it possible that flat earth hasn't taken off even more? Because there's a couple stories in the Bible that comes to mind that any Bible believing Christian should really think about before you continue to believe in the science hypothesis about earth. You see, there was a debate a long time ago with Christians versus science, and then all of a sudden one day Christians gave up and said, well, I guess science was right, the earth is a ball and we're flying through space around the sun. But these two stories might make you rethink that. So with the flood story, so on the ark, and that could have been a real story, that could have been a literal story, because the animals could have been baby animals. You could have easily fit two of each kind on the ark. And when it comes to the flood, I mean, what makes more sense? Flooding, for example, flooding a basketball arena with a dome. You see, most basketball arenas have a dome for a ceiling. So imagine having all the doors closed, and how hard would it be to flood that basketball arena to the ceiling? Not very hard, right? Well, let's say somehow the basketball stadium was constructed on a giant ball instead. So let's try to flood that, right? How do you think that's going to work out? Flooding a giant basketball or a giant ball, let alone having lakes and oceans on that ball. What, gravity? That's what it is? Well, gravity is a man-made hypothesis. Gravity is the answer that scientists use for everything, because they're making you believe things like you live on a ball and you can walk around it like an insect, and there's water clinging to this ball, and lakes and oceans clinging to this ball, all by gravity. You would never believe that if there was no such hypothesis as gravity. I mean, that just, and then that just shows you how most people in this world just don't even think. Like, they let the scientists do all the thinking for them, in the public indoctrination centers do all the thinking for them. Just because you grew up in a school that insisted that you believe that you live on a ball doesn't mean you have to grow up and never think and question what you've been told. Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense when you think about it. So it'd be very easy to flood a basketball arena with a domed ceiling, and it would be very difficult to flood a ball. So right there should show you that there's something to the Bible, and there's something to these stories. And so with the Tower of Babel, I mean, same concept. Let's use the same example. So are you gonna build a tower? Let's say you build some scaffolding in a basketball arena. Do you think eventually you're gonna get somewhere? Yeah, you're gonna get to the ceiling. You're gonna get to that domed basketball arena ceiling. Now, if you build scaffolding on a ball, if somehow there's a giant ball that you can walk on, and you start building scaffolding on it, and you're outside, let's say this ball is just suspended in air and somehow you're on it and you build scaffolding, where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're getting to with that scaffolding? Absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So just these two examples out of the Bible should have most of you Bible believing Christians start thinking and using your own mind. Start thinking about these concepts, and it makes a lot of sense with the basketball arena example, and it makes little to no sense at all with the scientific ball example. So I just released a new video on my Feed Your Mind 2 channel. It's out right now for everybody to watch. And so I'll leave a link for it in the comment section and the description box. The video is called What is Outside the Firmament, where we cover several hypotheses about what could be outside the firmament. It's an incredible video. We're going to cover various topics and ideas. You're definitely going to want to check this one out. So I'll see you in the video. Links in the comment section in the description box. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Feed Your Mind, signing off.